What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media. Hey, thanks for tuning in today on Facebook and YouTube, of course, here on a Wednesday afternoon. Got quite a bit to talk about that I want to go through. Obviously, a lot coming around the corner with the NFL draft, obviously. But before we get into the NFL draft and all of that stuff, and I'm not really going to drop the link. I'm just going to run through everything that I have listed and kind of talk about some topics today. And then that'll be that. But, obviously church later. But I do have some stuff to talk about as far as Wallace State. A lot of great things happening over there where I go to school at. A lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter at Ballard Sports, or if you follow the Ballard Sports Media Facebook page, but you can always catch some great content over even on Facebook, always sharing stuff about Wallace Athletics and everything else going on. So, it's it's pretty incredible. Yeah, man. So y'all know what to do. If you're on Facebook, hit the like, share it out. If you're on YouTube, hit the like. You can also share it out if you want to. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And if you like what you see, like I said, hit the like. If you don't like what you see, please just hit the like button. It really does help the channel out quite a bit. But overall, a lot of great stuff happening. What's up, Sam? How you doing, buddy? I love you, man. It's good to see you over on YouTube. My boy Sam Bell, a Tennessee Volunteers fan and Titans fan as well. But what do you guys say we go ahead and get into it? Again, not dropping the link, just kind of run through some big sports news and everything, and I do want to hear some feedback, obviously, in the comments, and we'll read some comments and everything. But without further ado, let's get into it. What about my school at Wallace State? Y'all probably see that flag there right next to this amazing picture of Bear Bryant and Nick Saban, of course, two legends. But yeah, I got a Wallace State flag here. I think I got that. I think at the start of last semester, you always go to college, you always get like a big pack of information. You get some merch, whatever, from the store. But anyway, the latest with my Wallace State Lions. I love going to school there. Obviously, a lot of great things coming as far as athletics and everything. But big news that I shared out yesterday, I want to give a special shout out to a men's basketball player. And I'm going to try not to butcher his name. Curran Gardner, a men's basketball player who signed this week with the University of West Alabama. Congratulations, Curran. We wish you the best of luck. Go Lions always, of course. And he did very well. Of course, this is my first semester or first year, really, at Wallace. So I haven't been there to watch him. But looking at these stats, it seems like he was a heck of a player. Played in 82 games, 418 rebounds, 298 assists, and 128 steals. That sounds like a heck of a player. I did see him play, obviously, going to the basketball games this year. And when I did see him out there, he was very fast, a great player inside and out. Could get the rebounds, could score, could play defense. It seems like he can do it all. But he is moving on, unfortunately, from Wallace State, so he'll go elsewhere. But congratulations on going to the University of West Alabama. We wish you nothing but the best of luck. And, we're pulling for you, obviously, here in Wallace State territory. Also, in other Lion news, how about Monday? 2 days ago, I was there. Wallace State wins 6-5 over Motlow State with a walk-off double to bring in 2 runs after being down 5-4. It's not necessarily a comeback, but one where, I guess they're from behind. They still come back for it. Here is the box score: the Motlow State Bucks versus Wallace State Lions. It was 2-0 at the end of one. At the end of three, it was 2-1. Then Motlow would outscore Wallace 3-2 in the fourth, being tied at 4. Then we we were really, we were tied at 5. Didn't really come from behind necessarily, although it was, as the game went on, there weren't as many base hits and runs being scored. Colson Lawrence had 5 at-bats, 1 run off 3 hits. He ran 1 guy in. Mitchell Herr is a really good player. He had 5 at-bats, 3 RBIs of the 6 runs that Wallace was able to get. So Mitchell Herr had 3, Jace Guyette had 1, Colson Lawrence had 1 RBI. Mitchell Herr had a home run. So, let's see. I'm still trying to learn how to read all this, but it is incredible, too, to see this is a really good baseball program and a good baseball school. Again, it was at one point in this game, and again, it wasn't much of a comeback, but at one point they were down 5-4. You're in the final inning, right? They gave up a run, but they also, it was tied at 5. You needed something, and they ran 2 guys in, counting the catcher. I think they had 1 on, and they ran a couple guys in. But overall, I think Wallace did very well in this game. Honestly, they're an incredible baseball team. And I don't know, you guys have heard me a little bit on softball. I think they have lost a game, but they were 22-0 a couple weeks ago that they did finally take a loss in softball. But I mean, Wallace, look, especially the softball, and I joke Montana Founts ain't got nothing on what the Lions softball team's got, But yeah, y'all probably saw me live during the 9th inning on Monday. We were tied at 5 apiece, and then of course a walk-off base hit. At one point it was 5-4. Then we tied it up, and then they brought in a run or so. But anyway, overall, I am kind of getting this mixed up a little bit. But this was a game. I don't even know if I want to say that they necessarily needed. But if you look at it right now, currently, let me stop screen sharing here. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Okay. So this is softball right here. Let me go to baseball standings here. So you have Hanceville, who is tied with Snead State at 11-5. Shelton State has a 14-2 record with an 87 win percentage, at least in their division. Now, overall, we get back to that real quick. 24-11 is what Wallace State is. They really have. Well, Snead State has the most wins of anybody. But then again, they've only played 33 games. Shelton State's played the most of anybody. So at least in this division here, but yeah, overall, I will say that Wallace, has won 6 straight, right? The last 10, they're 8-2. They got a 68 win percentage. They're 24-11. I mean, they are in a really good spot for the postseason. They really, really are. they got to get past Snead State, Shelton State, and all of that, which let me double check. I think they are coming up on the schedule, if I'm not mistaken. But let me see. Let's see. Shelton State, Saturday, April 23rd. That's a doubleheader at 2 and 5. Snead State, they got that going for them next Thursday, which is their next game anyway, by the way, at 2 Central and then 5 Central. They got a doubleheader. So they got some doubleheaders coming up. Looking forward to it. Hopefully go to those games. I mean, 2 o'clock will be after one of my classes, so maybe I stay on campus. And then they travel to – so they have on the 14th, a week from tomorrow, they have a doubleheader at home with Snead State. Then on the following this Saturday, or next Saturday, I should say, they go to Snead State. Then they go at Shelton. Then they play at home, Shelton State, in a doubleheader on the 23rd. Then they have Calhoun Community College on the road on Thursday, April 28th. And then on April 30th, they will have Calhoun at home in a doubleheader, and then so on. So, yeah, it's all – I guess it looks like – and I don't know how I haven't caught on to this or what, but – I guess it's all like basically you play home and homes in double headers. So I don't know how I've missed the pattern, but I guess that would make sense in ways. But anyway, overall, I'll say this as far as Wallace State goes. And again, shout out to Curran Garner, signing with University of West Alabama, 82 games, 418 rebounds, 298 assists in his career. With 128 steals at Wallace State. He's with West Alabama. And again, it seems like everything's going for the men's baseball team as they're in third place in this division here. But again, kind of really tied for second, at least division record-wise. Overall, they're still kind of behind there with Snead State ahead by 1 game. But everything's looking good. Everything's going for them. Surely they will be in the postseason, of course, and they'll have to face the bigger teams, and that's when they really got to crack down and just try to get it all together. So, but we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, love it, man, love it. So anyway, that's pretty much all I got for Wallace State sports news. Go Lions. Love them, and I'm just getting started with stuff over there, so there's a lot more to come for sure. But I do like sharing this stuff with you guys. So, yeah. Anyway, look. That being said, I do have a couple other topics here. In 1 second. All right. You probably saw it as the thumbnail, but yes, the Jaguars debate for number 1. Is it to invest in Trevor Lawrence or build up the defense? What do they do? And by the way, I just got through talking about Wallace State. You can catch the next game live on the Wallace State YouTube channel, 3 p.m. Eastern on April 14th. So anyway, back real quick with some NFL talk. The Jaguars. Is this draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars about Trevor Lawrence? Is it investing in that or building the defense? Or does it not matter? I mean, obviously every team wants to draft to get better as a whole, regardless if you're doing it for your quarterback or whatever. But you got Doug Peterson, right? And he has held some great offenses and really even defenses when he was at Philadelphia. So now he comes into Jacksonville, which I'm not really going to say anything bad. Obviously, before they got Trevor Lawrence and they were kind of tanking for him in a way, they were having some issues. I mean, they're not too far off from 2017 when they last made the playoffs, but it's been a downhill fall. Trevor Lawrence is their go-to quarterback for sure, but is it about him in this draft? I mean, at number one, I'm still kind of tossing and turning a little bit over, what they should do. Do they go defense and grab a guy like Aiden Hutchinson or even Kayvon Thibodeau? I know that for a while it seemed like before this college football season even started back in August, it seemed like maybe Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon was going to be the guy. Now we're hearing about Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan. But we're also hearing about Evan Neal. Should they go and invest in the offensive line? I think so. I see LW in here. What's up, man? Roll Tide. He says, easy. Draft Neal or the NC State tackle, Ikeme Ekwonu. Okay. Can get a good defensive player with the first pick in the second round. I agree with that. I don't know about taking Ike Ekwonu, however you say it, from NC State. I don't know about number one. Could you trade back a spot or two and get him? Maybe. But, could you imagine if they took him over Evan Neal at number one? You imagine maybe some of the heat because – and I'm not saying this because he's an Alabama player, but, I mean, Evan Neal is a big guy that is physical, fast, well-built, just good character, had a great GPA, had it all at Alabama, right? And now he's bringing it to the NFL. And there's so much talk about that. I mean, I can understand if you don't take him and you want to go defense and you go Aiden Hutchinson. Okay. But, if they're going to take a tackle, I really think that Evan Neal's the go-to guy there at number one. But again, the debate for number one, there's not really a clear-cut player. Now, it seems like it's Evan Neal, right? This is like the years with Baker Mayfield at number one for the Browns, right? They went 0-16. They just straight sucked. I don't know if they necessarily were tanking for anybody, but they they were pretty close, and they were talking about, are they going to take Josh Allen? This was that class. You had Baker Mayfield go number one to the Browns, but they also had on their radar, you could have gone Sam Darnold, who ended up with the Jets, who's now, I believe, in Carolina. You had Josh Rosen. You had Josh Allen, of course, killing it with the Bills. But this year in 2022, the Jaguars are back at number one. What do you do? Doug Peterson is a great head coach, was great at Philadelphia. The past few years wasn't working out, but he went and he drafted, remember, in his last draft, at least as a coach, he drafted Jalen Hurts. Now, Eagles fans were not happy about that because they just gave Carson Wentz all this money. Now, he has a quarterback. He doesn't need to draft a quarterback. And even if he did, I don't know about Matt Corral or Malik Willis really necessarily being – I mean, they're good. They'll go top 10 or – and I say Matt Corral, I kind of just threw a name out there, but you know who the quarterbacks are in this draft. I mean – you got Malik Willis. You got Kenny Pickett. Really, those are, I think, the top two guys right now, even though I do think Matt Corral could be pretty good somewhere. But I really see him going somewhere on day two. Even if they needed a quarterback, hypothetically, let's say if they didn't have Trevor Lawrence or it's not working out, hypothetically, would you really take a Malik Willis number one overall, or could you trade back to 7 with the Giants or 8 with the Falcons and then get him? I don't know if you want to spend the number one pick on a quarterback in this draft class. I really don't. So getting back to this and staying on topic, you have two options at number one. Well, you have multiple options. I mean, you could take whoever you wanted to. We're either going to make fun of you or say that makes plenty of sense. But do you build the defense and go Aiden Hutchinson? Or even, which I don't know why we're not talking about him enough, but Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon could still go number one, right? I still think he's very talented. LW, like I said in the comments, easy draft Neal or the NC State tackle. Yeah, I would agree. I think that they could go there. It is very interesting to see what they'll do. I'm still kind of tossing and turning and shaking my head a little bit, scratching it. Like I say, it is, there are a bunch of different directions that they could go. I think if they really care enough, and if Doug Peterson is smart enough, and if he's going there because of Trevor Lawrence and he wants to help Trevor Lawrence, he'll take Evan Neal number 1 overall for sure. If not, and he just wants to build a winning program, which Evan Neal will still be part of, like, wanting to build a winning program, he might go defense, and I wouldn't blame him too much. I think they'll take Evan Neal number 1. I think they will. It could be Thibodeau. It could be Hutchinson. Whoever. I think Evan Neal might be their choice. But this is about Trevor Lawrence, right? I mean, look, when you become a quarterback in the NFL, it's your team, right? You're not the owner. You're not the head coach, but you're the guy that everyone's going to look at and talk about, right? And you're an adult. You're a grown man. As a quarterback in the NFL, you're doing this for a living. You're getting paid, right? You're getting paid to play, right? So you're looking at your coaches and you're saying, okay, I'll take your advice. What do you want me to do? What could I do better? What do you want, coach? What do you want, coach? But I think there is a point where a coach has to look at his quarterback and say, well, what do you want? What do you need? What can I help you with? And if Trevor Lawrence looks at Doug and says, yeah, I can get a right tackle, take Evan Neal. Or like you said, Ike Ekwonu, which is the NC State tackle. I'm still trying to learn how you say his name. But shout out to LW. I mean, I didn't even think about putting him on this list. But it's about Trevor Lawrence. This draft for the Jaguars, I think it's both investing in Trevor Lawrence and building the defense. But really, if you want to show Trevor Lawrence you care, which I'm not saying that they're not doing that at all. I think he knows that they care and they want to build around him. But truly, like, prove it to yourself. Prove it to Duval. Prove it to all of them. And go offense with this first pick. Go after a tackle, Evan Neal or Ikem Ekwonu or whatever. I do like Charles Cross from Mississippi State in the first round somewhere. I don't know if he's number 1. He's top 10. I mean, you got the Broncos in there, the Steelers or whatever. But yeah, I think the Jaguars could take one of maybe 3 players. Evan Neal, Aiden Hutchinson, or maybe even Ikem Ekwonu, number 1 overall. But I think more likely, I still think it's going to be Evan Neal. I think that would be a good pairing on the offensive line. You get a strong guy like him to protect. Like, you get a generational and big offensive tackle like that to protect a generational quarterback. That'd be something huge in Jacksonville, Florida for Jaguars fans and the nation and, what they want to do for that franchise. So you guys let me know in the comments and everything, like, what they should do at number 1. I think they should invest in their quarterback and go after a tackle. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe they change their mind and maybe they go in the direction of defense. Maybe they go after Aiden Hutchinson. Maybe they do something like that. I don't know. I think they need to protect their quarterback and work with him. I think that's what you have to do. So anyway, but it always works out. It's a domino effect in the NFL. You have the first pick sets the tone. Think about it. Because if you don't take Evan Neal, you know who is going to take Evan Neal next? Probably the Texans, if not the Giants. If you do take Evan Neal, the Giants, who desperately need O-line, are not going to get Evan Neal. They're going to take someone like it might be Charles Cross or Ikem Ekwonu. I'm just going to go ahead and give you my top 5. At least my top 5. Now, again, this could change. Maybe there's something that happens in free agency. I don't know. Number 1, I got the Jags taking Evan Neal. Number 2, I think the Lions go Kayvon Thibodeau. The Texans take Hutchinson at 3. Derek Stingley to the Jets at 4. And then to round out at least the first 5 picks, I think Ikeme Ekwonu does go off the board. I think the Giants take him there. But you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. But again, there's so many different ways the Jaguars could go with this. They could go defense if they want Hutchinson or Thibodeau. I personally, if I were them, I would show, which, like I said, it's not that they haven't, but truly try to invest in your quarterback a bit. Show them that you want to do that, and maybe go get a big guy like Evan Neal or, like LW mentioned, Ikeme Ekwonu out of NC State. But do it for Trevor Lawrence. Help build this franchise. Help him build his NFL future. Invest in him. Show him you care. Do the right thing and protect your quarterback with the first pick in the 2022 draft. So that's what I would do. I don't know, but I don't hear from you guys. So I don't know. All right. Like I said, I didn't have much. I know I did talk a little bit about the Wallace stuff. The other thing that I got, is this. And outside of that, maybe I'll drop the link for you guys. I don't know. It's really not many watching, but. So when it comes to this draft, let's talk about this for a second. This is always a good one. Which NFL teams are in desperation mode in the 2022 draft? Well, what do you mean by that, Ballard? Aren't they all desperate for players? No, yeah, maybe. I mean, what I'm saying is this draft for certain teams is make or break. You got teams like the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. Big Ben has retired. You want to make sure this franchise is not falling off, right? So you want to take advantage of every pick possible. If you have to trade for more, trade for more. See, that's what I mean. You got the Steelers who want to keep it going. Bill Belichick wants to prove that he can win a Super Bowl without Tom Brady, I'm sure. The Bucks, I don't think they're necessarily in a desperation type of mode for anything. They just won a Super Bowl. And Tom Brady is officially back with the team, of course. The Jaguars, they're still ways off from really making the playoffs or anything. So I don't know. Dominic, I'm not dropping the link today, bud. Maybe next time. But you got these teams like, okay, the Bengals. They lose the Super Bowl. They bring a lot back. I still think they should go out and get a tackle or something, but they're not in desperation mode like, oh, we got to fix this. We got to fix it. You just made a Super Bowl. Calm yourself. The Chiefs, I think, could easily get back with Patrick Mahomes. They just got to fix they got to draft maybe a tackle or two or get an extra receiver or whatever they got to do. They're not desperate for anything. They just won a Super Bowl 3 years ago, 2 years, whatever it is. So teams like the Bucks, the Chiefs, the Bengals, of course, the Rams, they're fine. The Lions have sucked for however long. And, they need help desperately. The Jets are desperate. They just picked up Zach Wilson. Now they want to work with him. The Panthers. Falcons fans. What about Washington? What teams are desperate to have this draft be the draft? Now, it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to get every single player you want to get unless you can make the right trades. What about the Eagles? Nick Sirianni's the head coach. What does he want to do? He wants to build this program up or franchise. I'm so used to saying program for college. He wants to invest in his quarterback in Jalen Hurts. You got Jalen Reagor. You got Devontae Smith. You got a lot of great players on the Eagles. Where do they need to draft? Are they trying to get back and get the right pieces to be one? And I've said this before, but even one player can make a difference. You're one key block away to help a quarterback maybe make a throw, or a receiver away to make a catch, or you're always like one play away from winning an extra game, or winning the game you need to play or win to get to that next level, possibly all the way to the Super Bowl, right? The Eagles, darn well the Cowboys are desperate. Gosh, y'all been desperate. What teams are looking at this draft and biting their fingernails saying, okay, we cannot screw this one up. This has to be the draft. This has to be the one we go out and we give it everything we got to make the right calls, make the right picks. The Chiefs are okay. They got back. The Chiefs, I believe, have back-to-back picks in the first round. And even if, come on. What about the Packers? What about Aaron Rodgers? The Chargers. Are they desperate to win the division over Kansas City? Has Kansas City, for 4 or 5 straight years with Mahomes, has it been too long at the top of the AFC West? Is it time for a team like the Chargers and maybe even the Raiders in that division to take control? I'd say the Chargers are definitely the next team. The Bears. How many years has it been since they got Mitch Trubisky? And it seemed like he was okay. Then a year and a half after, it wasn't doing anything. Now they got Justin Fields at quarterback. They want to work around him. Matt Nagy's the head coach. What team is out there that is sitting there saying, this has to be the draft? This has to be the draft where we get it all together, we get it in gear, and we go win a big-time football game, or let alone even just win our division. Can we get a playoff spot? Who is desperate to make those picks this year in the NFL draft that could boost their franchise, can boost potential, can help the team? I want to hear from you guys. The Giants was one of the ones that I mentioned, right? They have these picks. So here's what the Giants have. Let me share this. This is Giants Wire on USA Today. I think that's one of the teams, really based on their fan base. It is definitely one of the top teams that are desperate. Because, you got Daniel Jones, you got Saquon Barkley. What's it going to take to get back there? You're in the NFC East. Come on. They got the 5th overall pick. 7, 36, 67, 81, 112, 147, 173. They got 9 picks, 182 as well. They don't have a 7th round pick, and that's practically it. They got 2 in the 3rd round, 2 in the 5th round, a 4th round, a 6th round, and of course they're 5 overall. Giants got to be desperate. Seriously. I'm not saying for a Super Bowl. But come on, get past the Commanders. Get past the Eagles. Just win. Win at least 8 games or 9 games and get back to winning half of your season. Be a 500 football team. They've been having all these 6-10, 5-11, 4-12. It has been abysmal. I start with the Giants. I don't know if I start with them, but they're definitely up there. And put this in the comments. I like to give you guys the sources here if y'all want to go read them, or just to kind of quote stuff. Want to hear from y'all in the comments again. What NFL team is out there that is in desperation mode going into this draft, that they have to get it right now to get the right pieces that are going to help fix their franchise so that they can either make the playoffs or just get over the hump of a certain playoff game, or, maybe ending a Super Bowl drought, much like Tampa Bay was a couple years ago with Tom Brady in 2020. Want to hear from you, the people, in the comments. So, man, I mean, you're always like one player, one pick away, dude. It's insane. Nine draft picks for the Giants, and that's really the main team right there that I think is just where it starts. You know, teams are still trying to rebuild. The Jets have been rebuilding for a decade. The Bengals got it turned around with Joe Burrow ASAP. You know, I mean, there's so many different teams out there. Some teams did it pretty fast. The Jaguars, like I said, with Trevor Lawrence. Before him, I'm trying to remember who they had. Was it Blake Bortles? Where's he at now? It's like second or third string on like the Texans or something. Or I don't know. Like there's teams like that aren't too far removed. Like you're going back 4 years since the Jags were in the AFC title against the Patriots, the same year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. It's been 5 years, and now they're one of the worst teams in the NFL. They are down in the gutter. Like that. There's a lot of Jacksonville fans. Shout out to Leonard Skinner, by the way. Anyway. I mean, there's so many teams out there, man, that are just desperate for a Super Bowl, for a division, just a wild card spot. I don't care if we win it. I just want to make a wild card. You can blow us out, but I want to be able to go on Twitter the next day after a loss and say, we still made it. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. What teams are desperate, man? What teams need to end a playoff drought or a Super Bowl drought? Belichick's automatic, right? Think about it. I'm not really used to being down at the bottom, But Tom Brady leaves, he leaves, and we'll work with Mac Jones. I don't know. I mean, seriously. Bucks just won one. Chiefs are good. The Bills. I mean, how many years in a row now have they won the East or made the playoffs? So they can't get past the divisional round, let alone get past a team like the Chiefs or whatever it is. The Bills at least got to, at some point, if it's not this year, maybe after this year, you start saying now they got to be in desperation mode to try to, how do I put it? Like, make a Super Bowl. Just make it. I mean, seriously. Like, it was pretty good for the Niners a couple of years ago. It fell off a bit after losing to the Chiefs, but you had to feel good to get there. There's a lot of teams, man. Really. Anyway. It's already 4 o'clock here. Golden Blue Dude's live. Or was. I don't know. Is he still? Past live streams. Anyway. Well, folks, that's pretty much it that I got for you guys today. I don't want to be on here too long. But, yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on. Hey, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Like, comment, and subscribe like I always say. If you're on Facebook, go subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already, where we post all the videos, and then we share them out on Facebook, Twitter, and all that. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you are on Facebook, I would definitely encourage you to go like the Facebook page, Ballard Sports Media. But I love you guys. Jesus loves you. He's got an amazing plan. Keep your head up. And I appreciate everyone for tuning in today. Hope everyone has a great rest of the week, great rest of your Wednesday. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here, folks, to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media checking out. Love you guys. God bless. And always
roll down Tide.
Roll Tide. Love y'all. Ballard's out.